Hello, friends, and welcome back to Movies, Munchies, and Moscato. I am Rhonda.
And I am Rochelle.
And we're just a couple of friends who love movies, television, and wine. So if that is something that interests you, please stick around and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And now it's time for movie news, reviews, and pulp culture discussion. So NBC has pulled out of airing the 2022 Golden Globe Awards due to the controversy surrounding the Hollywood Foreign Press and their lack of diversity. So apparently they have had anybody of color, since like the 1960s. That's just
crazy. Which is very odd, being that they're the Hollywood Foreign Press.
It's so yeah,
odd.
It's so odd. It's very odd.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and I also heard that Tom Cruise ended up giving back his 3 Golden Globes in solidarity, protest. I don't know what the reasoning was.
His 3 Golden Globes?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
He's giving them back, because of all of this, so...
Wow, so Golden Globes are off for 22.
Yep. And my question at first was, what keeps another network from airing it, next year? But apparently they have some type of contract, so we're not going to see it. So I'm going to guess they might just skip it altogether. Because I was thinking maybe they'll still have them, but just not air them. Mm-hmm. Which I guess is a possibility, but I can see them just scrapping it.
I kind of wonder if award shows will just kind of fade away in the future. I don't know. I mean, maybe not, but... This would be a good thing for them to be done with. I don't know.
Right? That's true.
I mean, there are a lot of award shows, but... and I love the Golden Globes.
That's true. Yeah, Golden Globes is one of my favorites, so
it's kind of disheartening.
Hope they can fix what they need to fix and
exactly.
can move forward. So This Is Us has officially announced it will end with Season 6 that will be coming out this September. Now, I'd already heard that Season 6 was the last season, but they made an official announcement today. That, yes, next season will be its last. It's currently airing at Season 5, which will end on May 25th for the season. So, bittersweet. It's been a great run. That's something that me and Rochelle both like to watch.
Yes,
so, I can't wait to see where how it does all end. So, I like when they know that they're ending, because then they could always write a satisfying finale versus when you're canceled out of nowhere and you're just like, no.
Exactly. Yes,
so,
which seems to be kind of a thing lately.
The case for a lot of things.
So,
which I'll just throw out there. Show I watched, Prodigal Son. It was announced as well this week that it's been canceled, and unfortunately, I'm sure it's going to end on a cliffhanger. It has its season finale next week, and I'm sure I'm going to be disappointed on how it ends. Unfortunately,
and I did watch a few of those. I thought it was pretty good.
So I'm hoping maybe they're going to shop it around to somewhere else, maybe like Netflix. Or HBO Max, maybe we'll pick it up. Because they did that with my show Lucifer, that was also on Fox. Netflix picked it up, so maybe.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And it's on Netflix.
Yeah, so maybe that'll happen with this one, too. I can only hope. So Ellen DeGeneres has announced she's ending her talk show after the 19th season, stating it just isn't challenging for her anymore. So I don't know if I completely buy that's her reasoning. I think part of it has to do with the controversy that her and her staff, had last year. About the meanness behind the scenes and the bullying that occurred. So
right.
I don't think maybe her ratings and guests weren't back to where they were.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
And so she's just over it. Mm-hmm. That's my guess.
And 19th season, that's pretty long.
Right? I didn't even realize until I said that she's been doing it that long. I was like, holy crap.
I mean, that's probably a good time for her to do something else.
Yeah.
Like run her rescues. Hello.
There you
She's
go.
a big rescue person, so
she does have a sneaker line. She's a sneaker line on QVC.
Yeah, there's not going
right.
to... I mean, she just did a stand-up on Netflix not too long ago, and it was funny. I thought she did a great job.
Maybe she'll just, do that. Or maybe she'll act again. You just don't know.
Yeah, you don't. So I'm not worried about her.
Right, she'll be fine. She's made enough money if she doesn't do anything again the rest of her life, so she's fine.
Yes, exactly.
Adrian Brody has joined Succession for Season 3. Remember last week we announced that Alexander Skarsgård had also joined Succession Season 3, so those two are awesome. So I really need to start watching that show.
And I like Adrian Brody.
Yeah, we haven't seen him in a while. Yeah. For those who don't remember, he won that Oscar years ago for was it Piano? The Pianist? Yeah, The Pianist. I remember he did that when he won. That was when he grabbed Halle Berry and gave her that kiss around the mouth, and she was you could tell by her eyes, it was so off guard. She's like, what's happening?
It must have been his first Oscar. And then Halle Berry gave it to him, so hello.
He was like, woohoo, kiss. success.
Yeah, I never did see The Pianist. I
Yeah,
don't
me
think.
neither. I never saw that movie either. But Dave Bautista and Edward Norton have been cast in the Knives Out sequel that Netflix will be putting out.
Love Edward Norton.
Right? I love him too. So, he first came to my notice when he was in Primal Fear back in the day with Richard Gere. Such a good show with an awesome twist. He was, before they got Mr. What's his name? Mark Ruffalo to be the Hulk. He was the Hulk in the Incredible Hulk movie.
Oh, that's right.
And then they switched
to
switched to Mark Ruffalo once they added him to the Avengers movies. But I think it was I think Edward Norton was asked, but because he wants like so much control over what his character does, they passed, unfortunately.
Right.
But
yeah, he's such a diverse character.
yeah,
that would kind of tie him in.
Yeah, he's been everywhere.
Yeah.
And then Dave Bautista, he obviously he was in the Marvel Universe. He was Drax in the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh.
Sorry. And so I enjoy him as well. So I think that will be cool. I can't wait to see what the storyline for that's going to be.
Knives Out, because we did see the movie.
Yeah, it was,
and that was pretty funny.
Yeah, we liked it. So,
okay.
And I didn't guess who the killer was. So it was actually a good movie in terms of not letting it know him too early who did the deed. So.
And it had a comedy aspect to it, so that was...
Yeah, it was good.
I liked it.
Finally, Regina King is set to direct this movie called Bitter Root. It's a monster-filled 1920s set race-themed comic book adaptation. It's described as Get Out meets Blade.
What?
That's an interesting combo, right?
Gosh.
And apparently, like I said, it's a comic book called Bitter Root that it's based on. So,
and Regina King is...
yeah. So Regina King was, I'm sure she just barely did her very first directorial debut with One Night in Miami. That was really good. And so I guess this is just the next thing she wants to do. And so we'll see where it goes.
Sounds
I don't
great.
know. Movies and TV shows out this week. First off, there's actually a bunch this week. Wow. So we have Spiral. This is in theaters with Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson. This is following up on the whole Jigsaw mythos from the Saw franchise series. So it's an investigation into grisly murders that are eerily reminiscent of the city's gruesome past with the killer Jigsaw. Chris Rock's detective finds himself at the center of the killer's morbid game.
Yeah, we were going to maybe see that, darn it.
Right. So far, the early reviews of the reviewers that have seen it have been positive, so that's good news. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Those Who Wish Me Dead. This will be in theaters and HBO Max. This stars Angelina Jolie and John Barenthal. It's just Bernthal, I apologize. Anyway, it's about a smoke jumper and a 12-year-old boy who fight for their lives as two assassins pursue them through the wilderness. This looked really good when we were talking about it in our trailer series. So
it does look good.
Yeah, most likely I'll end up just watching this one on HBO Max since I will be seeing The Spiral in the theaters. So, yeah. So it looks good.
Okay.
Army of the Dead. This movie is going to be on Netflix and stars Dave Bautista, who we were just talking about. So it's after a zombie outbreak in Las Vegas, a group of mercenaries takes the ultimate gamble by venturing into the quarantine zone for the greatest heist ever. I'm sure of a casino is my guess.
Oh, yeah. So when I was on Netflix, I saw it. And I just kept thinking, I should watch this, but I am just not in the movie. I'm not in the movie. I'm just not going to watch it.
Because I'm not in it.
I meant to say, because you have to be in the mood for a zombie movie.
Yes, that is true. It does look great. Again, early reviews of this has been very positive. They say it's a very gory, funny, just great, adventure take on zombies.
So it is comedy.
Yeah,
okay.
So I'll have to definitely check that out. The Woman in the Window. This is a movie also on Netflix. This stars Amy Adams, Julianne Moore, Gary Oldman, and Anthony Mackie. A lot of people.
And I love them all, so I'm excited about this one.
It's about an agoraphobic woman living alone in New York who begins spying on her new neighbors, only to witness a disturbing act of violence. Now, this is based on a book. I'll just tell you that a friend of ours read this book and liked the book overall, but did say the book was very descriptive and wordy, so I can't wait to see how the movie is.
Well, they would have cut out some of those words.
Right,
So probably
that's true.
better.
That's
Probably
true.
a bit better.
I'm sure the movie, yeah.
And for the record, agoraphobic is...
Oh, when you're afraid to leave the house.
Yep.
You have a fear of leaving the house, yeah.
There's one of those phobic things.
Yeah. So, to watch that. Also on Netflix, Halston. This is a series that stars Ewan McGregor, and it's about the iconic American fashion designer who skyrockets to fame before his life starts to spin out of control. This looks good to me. I actually did watch part of the documentary that came out, I want to say maybe 2 years ago, about Halston, and I just caught like the last half, and I was very intrigued just by the last half. So seeing a little drama of his life, I think will be good. I watched the preview of it about the series, and I was like, yeah, you can tell it's very over the top, very 80s. So awesome. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. And finally, this week we have the Underground Railroad. Oh my gosh, the Underground Railroad. I'm sorry. This is a series on Amazon with Joel Edgerton, who, by the way, actually is in Woman in the Window as well. But anyway, so it's about the Underground Railroad. So it's focusing on Cora, who, after escaping a Georgia plantation, boards a train embarking on a harrowing trip as she seeks true freedom while being hunted by a notorious slave catcher.
So is this a true story?
It's based on the true story of the Underground Railroad, but I mean they're taking a dramatic license, of course, of
right,
focus on a character, right? And so this looks good as well.
Yeah.
Again, I've read some early reviews, and like it's 100% on Rotten Tomatoes right now. So
is it really? Oh, good. I'm all on board.
So it sounds like for the most part,
I'm on board.
Everything's sounding good. There's a lot that you can watch this week. So yes,
this is exciting.
So as for what we've been watching this week, for me, I watched the New Mutants movie on HBO Max. This starred Maisie Williams from Game of Thrones, and
she played Arya.
Yes,
right?
she played Arya on Game of Thrones, as well as it also starred. Oh my gosh, I'm just forgotten. Anna Taylor-Joy. I'm sorry, from The Queen's Gambit, and so this was filmed like 3 or 4 years ago, and so you can tell that if you look at them now, it's obviously they don't look so young. They still look so young in this movie because it took so long to come out. But unfortunately, I wasn't a fan. It moved kind of slow. The story, I feel like maybe it was missing things. I'm thinking maybe because it was delayed, they kept cutting things out of it, and so I feel like maybe a lot got left in the corner that would have made it make more sense to me.
Kind of abbreviating.
Yeah, and it was, they're supposed to be these new mutants. They do mention the X-Men, so you could tell it was supposed to be part of that whole thing, but it just ended up being a whole different weird animal. So I'd only give this 2 wine corks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend this one, unfortunately. I also watched Jupiter's Legacy on Netflix. This is a series that we mentioned that came out last week. This stars Josh Duhamel. He's playing a superhero that is, he's been a superhero for 90 years. I must say, watching it, I really enjoyed it. It does move slow, but I was still intrigued by it. It didn't explain the aging process, so the fact that this whole group has been superheroes since the 30s, but it's not explained why they're only now looking gray and older. It's like, huh? And they just have kids now that are in their early 20s that need to take over the business, so to speak, of helping the world. And so it's telling it from 2 different timelines. One when he and his friends first get their powers and how they got them, and then it's told in the present timeline, focusing more on their kids. I have to say I was more into the origin storyline of the parents more so than the kids, but overall I did like this series. So just know it doesn't grab you off the bat, so you just gotta give it time, and I do think you'll like the payoff. So as a rating for this series, I would give it 3.5 wine corks, I'd say. Okay. So it was good, not awesome, but it was good.
Well, good. So what I'm watching, well, back up. Did you sample or drink any good wine while you were watching any of these?
Unfortunately, no. I had no alcohol this past week.
Oh, that's too bad.
Nope.
All right. Well, so I started watching, so I've had some friends in town, but we've been able to watch some shows, and it's interesting. I started Shadow and Bone for the 3rd time, so I did get further this time. But it's really funny because the friends that I watched it with, it didn't grab them.
Okay.
It is me though, because I like those fantasy shows, and so I'm liking it more and more. So I really just need to quit starting over. So anyway, that's that. But I did watch a great show called Out of the Furnace. And this is on Hulu, and it's back from 2013. I feel like I'm just kind of running into these
older
movies that I've just never seen.
Mm-hmm.
But this stars Christian Bale, and I love him.
Right.
Christian Bale and Casey Affleck.
Okay.
And Christian Bale's a steel worker who basically, I mean, he just had a super, super tough life. And Casey Affleck is his brother, and he returns home after serving in Iraq and started fighting. He became kind of a fighter, and just kind of street fighting, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And and Woody Harrelson is in it as well, and he's the bad guy. So it's a great movie. I definitely would recommend it. I think I'd give it like 3.5, 4 wine corks.
Oh, okay.
That's me. And then on Netflix there was a new one that just came out called The Sons of Sam, and it's a crime documentary, but it's based on a journalist who back in the day when all these killings were happening, he was so he was obsessed with this, and he had decided that it was part of a cult killing. Okay. That this guy David
Berkowitz,
David Berkowitz, he didn't act alone like he said he did. And then later on, in many years down the road, when this Maury guy, journalist, was interviewing him, he said he didn't act alone. He was with a cult. But when you're looking at the interview, it almost looks like this journalist is leading him, and I think he just really wanted to tie it all together. And even the Manson family, the Manson killings, he was trying to correlate and tie all these different cults together. Mm-hmm. And so but it just brings to light another element that may or may not have been true. I guess we'll never know. But anyway, wow. I thought that was really interesting.
Oh, that is interesting. Maybe there's more than one.
I know. So instead of Son of Sam, it's Sons of Sam. Right. And I did drink quite a bit of wine this past week. Okay. And there is one that I really, really enjoyed, and it's called Jaguar. And it's a Cabernet, and it was so good and so mellow. So might want to try that. And of course, I had my usual decoy and my Clos d'Ivoire, but also all cabs. But this Jaguar was good. So anyway.
Did you have it at someone's house, or did you buy it and try it?
Yeah, my friends bought it.
Oh, okay.
Brought like 3 different ones, and that one really stood out to me.
Okay.
So,
I'll have to give it a whirl.
Yes. Whirl away, sister.
So I did think there was an interesting thing I came across yesterday, speaking of these, Sons of Sam killers, which is, so Kate Beckinsale, she's an actress, and I was looking on Twitter, and someone had retweeted something that she had posted, which was this, list of, the serial killers and what their zodiac signs were. And it was just funny because she was a Libra, and she's like, oh, look, none of these people match me. I'm okay. And then I was looking, I'm like, oh, I'm Aquarius, and I'm not on here either. So I was like, this is cool.
So I wonder what the majority of them are.
Honestly, most of them, I'm trying to think
Gemini,
back.
which are the twins.
I feel like Gemini actually was the most on there. It was.
Isn't that funny?
Gemini and Sagittarius, I want to say. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
Wow, that is really interesting.
Right? When you look up serial killers and find their zodiac signs, like, oh, look.
I'm glad
I'm not noted to be a serial killer, so yay, and to all those who out there who are the same.
I'm a Libra, so
there you go.
No serial killer here.
And now there's time for our new series trailer talk. So, first up is Venom, Let There Be Carnage. This is the sequel to Venom that came out, I think, 2 years ago. This will be out on September 24th. It will star Tom Hardy and Michelle Williams again, and Woody Harrelson has now joined the cast as the villain.
Love him. He's a great villain.
Right? So, first off, watching this trailer, it started out with, Tom Hardy's character in the kitchen, but Venom's making him breakfast while he's kind of, zoning out there. It was just... I actually had forgotten that they had basically decided to
join
mesh and be in one, and join forces through on out. So it was just a really cute little intro where he's making him the breakfast. It looks all nice, but then when it lands on the plate, it's a big old mess. And then he squirts some ketchup on him. So I was like, oh, okay. So it's a cute little moment. I like that this show seems to be kind of like part comedy and then the serious action. So anyhow, I do like that about it.
Yeah, I do too.
So it's kind of, it's the first trailer, so it doesn't show you a whole bunch, but, you get images of him, visiting somebody in prison you don't see right away, but you hear a voiceover. You see him, like, talking to Michelle Williams' character. You see him reading, like, The Bugle magazine, which is like the Daily Planet, but in the Spider-Man universe, if I remember correctly. Whereas the Daily Planet was in the Superman universe. And then finally it pans from like the bottom up to the voiceover, and it's Woody Harrelson looking all crazy. So he's getting injected. He's in prison in not the electric chair, obviously. He's getting injected, so he's just on the death row. He's in the chair about to get injected. Mm-hmm. Something goes wrong, of course, which just turns him into something.
Something crazy to take on Venom.
Something crazy, right, to take on Venom. And then from there, it just shows you a bunch of different,
I think it looks pretty cool.
Action images. I do think it looks pretty cool. I'm here for it. I will see this, because I did enjoy the first one.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I did too. I liked it.
I like the blend of comedy and action, so...
Especially in something like this.
Right? So. Yes. So I'm glad it's finally coming out in September. So yay.
Yay, this is going to be a good year.
Right? Yay, catching up with our movies. Next is The Green Knight. This will be out July 30th, and it stars Dev Patel, Alicia Vikander, and Joel Edgerton. Oh, Joel Edgerton's just everywhere. Jeez. I just realized that. We just mentioned him 3 times now.
Yeah. Well,
and Joel Edgerton, sorry, for those who don't remember, he's been in a lot of things. He was in Warrior, which was that fighting movie with Tom Hardy, actually, back in the day. And then you had... he's been in so many period flicks that I can't think of at the moment. But anyway, he's just very versatile. He's a good actor. So this was another trailer that honestly didn't speak hardly at all now that I think about it. There was very little talking in it. It was just showing you images of Dev Patel. He was, in his knight's garb, so I'm not quite sure who he's supposed to be. He's in his knight's garb. He kills somebody. He beheads something that looks like, honestly, the Night King from Game of Thrones.
Oh, right, yes.
And then the dude rides away with holding the head like, he's the freaking headless horseman from Sleepy Hollow. And all of a sudden now he's on, Dev Patel's character is now on this, trek to find something or someone.
Yeah, probably who.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if he's supposed to be the Green Knight or maybe he's trying to find the Green Knight. But it looks intriguing. It very much reminds me of kind of like the Lord of the Rings thing where they were like journeying across the vast like Middle Earth. Was it Middle Earth, right, that they were doing? Mm-hmm. And it reminds me of that. It's like just that type of like look to it.
Okay. So very scenic.
Right. You don't agree?
Very cinematic.
Yeah. You don't agree?
Oh, no, I agree.
Oh, okay.
Totally. And, you had me at Dev Patel, who is a beautiful man. And he was the guy in The Lion and also Slumdog Millionaire. Mm-hmm. But, man, has he grown up.
Right.
So, I thought it looked really good.
I think it does look good.
Kind of my alley.
It just, we just have to, I just really didn't tell you much of what was going on.
Do you know if that's going to be in theaters or?
It's supposed to be.
Just theaters?
In theaters, yeah. So, hopefully that
And I think Venom is also just in theaters.
Yes, that is just in theaters, so.
Cool. Yeah.
And then finally, our last movie to talk about is Old. This is going to be coming out July 23rd, and this stars Gael Garcia Bernal. But the real draw is that it's directed by M. Night Shyamalan. So, in his creepy best, let me just tell you. So, again, this didn't show you, it really didn't have any talking. It just shows these people on a beach, 3 different couples or families on this beach. A kid comes out screaming that something's happening, and you can just see him, aging before their eyes, and you're like, what is going on? So, it's intriguing enough. Like I said, it didn't show you anything really much beyond that, but knowing it's going to be creepy. Obviously, there's something wrong with this island. They probably need to get off it, or they're probably going to age out and die, is my guess. That's very cute. But because it's M. Night Shyamalan, there's going to be some other twist in there that you don't see coming. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm still trying to get through The Servant.
Oh right.
And you know what? That was so good. I do like M. Night Shyamalan. I do like him. It's just sometimes he has these weird hit and miss movies.
He really does. I'm still upset at The Village. That was one of those dumbest.
Yeah, I know.
I also didn't like that one with Mark Wahlberg, where they're like they were on like the train that kept, like it would disappear and reappear at random points, and that didn't make any sense. I can't remember the name of it though now.
I don't
I'm
know
sorry.
if I saw that one.
It was not. I was just like, that was not very good either.
Well,
but but you had Glass, which was great.
Yeah,
you
that
had
was good.
Unbreakable, and of course his original The Sixth Sense,
which was an Oscar winner.
Right, that was an Oscar winner.
Yeah, I like him. Anyway, so yeah, I'm excited for this one. I will definitely see it.
Yes, me too. This is one of the few. He's one of the few things I will watch that's creepy versus just being like a horror, like gory show. I'll watch his creepy stuff because I'm intrigued enough to want to do so. So
yeah, for sure. Well, that's all the time we have for this week. Thanks so much for listening. We had fun as usual, and we hope you enjoyed it as well. Please give us a review or comment, as it really helps us out a lot. And please follow us on Instagram at movies_munchies_moscato. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for hanging.
Thank you, guys.